Hi students, let's talk about how to answer matching headings in IELTS Academic Reading. For this question type, you will usually be presented 5 to 9 headings, sometimes although rare, there could be more than 9 headings. It's important to note that there will always be more headings than paragraphs. The objective of this question type is to match each paragraph in the reading text to one heading based on the general information in the text. The amount of the questions for this specific task can vary, but keep in mind that the answers will only be used once in the matching headings question type. Now, what are the common problems answering IELTS reading matching headings questions? When doing matching headings questions, inexperienced IELTS test takers will read every paragraph slowly and go back to look at the headings, and then attempt to match headings to paragraphs. This is totally inefficient and unnecessary. Let me tell you why. The first, the second, and the last sentences of each IELTS reading paragraph usually gives the summary of what the rest of the paragraph will discuss, and often contain keywords that one of the headings has. This means by just looking at the first, the second, and the last sentences of the paragraph, you will have a rough idea of what the paragraph is about, and sometimes you can find the associated heading right away. Also, do not be misled by headings that include only specific details rather than the general idea. Remember, there will be more headings than paragraphs, and these detailed headings are most likely included in order to confuse the test takers. So let's take a look at the tips and the strategy. The first important tip is read the first one or two sentences and the last sentence of each paragraph to understand the general meaning of the paragraph. Don't worry about highlighting keywords in the text. Try to sum up the general meaning of each paragraph in 1 or 2 words. Second, look at the headings and identify keywords within each heading. The third is identify the difference between each of the headings. Establish if there are any synonyms in the paragraph to keywords in the headings. The fourth, if you still can't pick one, move one. The answer will often reveal itself later. And the last is repeat until finished. So let's take a look at the practice passage here. This passage is about the plastic recycling. Now, these are the list of headings. The first is a lack of consistent policy. Second, learning from experience. Third, the greatest advantage. Fourth, the role of research. And fifth is a unique material. Now, let's identify how. So as I earlier mentioned, that let's take a look at the first line, middle, and the last line for the summary. Now here, if we take a look at the fourth sentence, it says, what's more, concern over plastic packaging has produced a squall of conflicting initiatives from retailers, manufacturers, and local authorities. It's a squall that dies down and then blows harder from one month to the next, which means that the policy is still not consistent or is not flowing properly yet. So here, the first is the answer, which is a lack of consistent policy. It says a squall of conflicting initiatives. Now let's take a look at the second. Here again, let's see the middle line, which says supermarkets and brands which are under pressure to reduce the quantity of packaging of all types that they use are finding good environmental reasons to turn to plastic. It is lighter, so requires less energy for transportation than glass. Now here, again, this is something which none other is able to do. So the answer is the fifth, which is a unique material, because what plastic has, the other materials does not have. Let's take a look at the next passage. Again, we have little list of headings here. Now, here, the answer for this one is hidden in the third line where it says, and yet we do not like it. So which means plastics, if we take a look at the second and the third line, plastics have helped society defy natural limits such as the seasons, the rotting of food, and the distance most of us live from where our food is produced, and yet we do not like it. So this is a kind of a feeling, and the answer to this question is the third one, which is an irrational anxiety, because this is what people feel about it. Now, looking at the last paragraph, let's take a look at the last lines here, which says, and in the packaging equation, weight is the main issue because the heavier something is, the more energy you expend moving it around. Because of this, writer's indignation against plastic can look foolish. So indignation is like an anger and annoyance, and the answer to this one is the fourth, which is avoiding the real challenges. Because of this, writer's indignation against the plastic can look foolish. So this is a summary of the paragraph. So I hope this solves your queries quite well. So thank you for watching my video and keep watching more IELTS reading tips videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.